The ground shakes before we ever see the monster. Waves crash against the shore and the world holds its breath. Because when Titans move, nothing on earth can stop them. And in 2025, the king will rise again, to face the fight of his life. This is not just a battle. This is a war of gods. A war of titans. The story begins not in the cities of man, but in the forgotten corners of the earth, deep in the heart of Skull Island. The wind howls across black cliffs and ancient jungles that hide secrets older than mankind. The island has always been alive, but now it trembles with something more. Trees fall without warning. Entire valleys collapse into the sea. The animals grow restless, sensing what humans cannot, that their king has stirred. King Kong, scarred from the battles of the past, stands taller and stronger than ever before. His fur, once dark and wild, now carries streaks of silver like the marks of time. His chest bears the scars of a warrior who has fought and survived what no other creature could. Each scar is a memory, a reminder of battles against monsters that once threatened to claim his crown. But Kong has never been just a survivor. He has always been the protector, the ruler of his domain, the one creature who stands between chaos and order. Yet, in the quiet hours before dawn, he does not roar in triumph. He waits. His golden eyes scan the horizon, and in them there is a rare silence. It is not fear. It is not anger. It is something heavier, something ancient. For Kong feels it, the stir of another power, far beyond Skull Island. A challenger. A shadow that rises across the seas. Far away, deep beneath volcanic rock, another Titan awakens. The earth groans and shatters as rivers of fire tear open the ground. Lava floods the land like blood from a wound. Within the inferno, the shape of a creature forms, a Titan of fire and fury, its body glowing with molten veins that pulse like the beating of a giant heart. Where Kong is the strength of earth and stone, this Titan is the fury of fire and destruction. Two forces, born from different worlds, destined to collide. The whispers of these awakenings do not stay hidden. Across the globe, strange signs appear. Earthquakes tear through continents. Tidal waves strike without storms. Animals flee their natural homes, crossing deserts and forests in search of safety. And the humans, with all their science and satellites, watch helplessly as the evidence builds. Two monsters are rising, and their paths are set to meet, but for now, the focus remains on the king. On Skull Island, lightning storms rage, striking the trees with fire as Kong stands at the peak of a mountain, chest pounding like thunder. He knows the battle that waits beyond the horizon. He knows it will not be like the others. This is not about territory. This is not about survival. This is about destiny. A war written into the bones of the earth itself. The legend of Kong has always been whispered in fear and awe. But in 2025, that legend is no longer a story. It is real and it is alive. The king has risen once again, and somewhere across the seas, another Titan prepares to meet him. And when they collide, the world will never be the same. The world does not sleep. Not anymore. Something stirs beneath the calm of the oceans and the skies, and humanity feels it long before it sees it. At first, it comes as whispers, reports of strange quakes, tremors deep below the crust, storms building without warning. Then the whispers grow louder. Governments speak in hurried tones. News anchors repeat words like catastrophic, unprecedented, and global threat. Across every continent, people begin to realize the truth. The Earth is no longer theirs. It belongs to the Titans. In secret bunkers and laboratories, scientists watch the skies and seas. Satellite feeds show cracks forming in the Pacific Trench, glowing as if the Earth itself has caught fire. Seismic waves ripple across continents, mapping the movement of something vast, something alive. At first, the experts call it coincidence, natural shifts of the planet. But the patterns become undeniable. The lines all point in one direction. Two paths, two giants heading toward the same place. Heading toward war, cities react with fear. Sirens echo across skylines as evacuation drills turn into real evacuations. Streets clog with families carrying only what they can hold. Soldiers roll tanks into position beneath skyscrapers, though they know in their hearts that steel and bullets mean nothing when the sky itself can break. The military calls it preparation. The people call it desperation. Across the seas, entire fleets of warships shadow the Titan's movements. Submarines dive deep, tracking heartbeats that pound like war drums from the ocean floor. Every sonar ping confirms it. The monsters are moving closer, pulled by something primal, something unstoppable. And still, the question hangs heavy. Will humanity witness this war or be crushed beneath it? Inside the control rooms, fear hides behind blinking lights and computer screens. Experts argue, should they try to intervene or should they retreat and let nature take its course? Some believe Kong is the world's best chance. They whisper that the king has always stood as a shield, that his strength may be the only thing holding back total destruction. Others fear that this time, even Kong's might will not be enough, and while humans debate, the Titans continue their march. The rival awakens in fire and fury, moving through molten rivers like a god born from the Earth's core. Volcanoes erupt in its wake, painting the skies with ash and flame. Meanwhile, Kong roams the edges of his island, restless, his chest rising with the storm. His roars carry over the oceans, a challenge sent into the wind. Somewhere the other Titan answers not with sound, but with the cracking of the earth itself. The world stands at the edge of panic. Stock markets collapse, not because of money but because of fear. Religions declare omens, prophets claim the end has come. And still the scientists press their eyes against screens, desperate to find an answer. But there is no answer. No weapon, no escape, no refuge that can shield humanity from what comes next. And so the people wait. Entire cities hold their breath, staring at the skies as if the Titans might appear over the horizon at any moment. Children clutch their parents' hands. Soldiers grip their rifles even though they know they are powerless. The earth has become a stage, and humanity, for once, is not the actor but the audience. For centuries, man has believed he rules the planet. But now, in the shadow of what rises, that illusion breaks. The world realizes the truth. They are not kings. They are not rulers. They are fragile creatures living on borrowed time, and the Titans have come to collect the debt. The countdown has begun. 2 paths, 2 legends, and 1 battlefield. The king prepares. The challenger rises. And the earth itself braces for a war it may not survive. Asterisk, the world holds its breath. Oceans fall silent. Even the winds pause, as though nature itself dares not disturb what is about to happen. From the horizon comes a roar so deep it rattles the bones of mountains. It is not just a sound, it is a declaration. Kong has arrived? His massive frame rises from the smoke and sea spray, each step shaking the earth like a drumbeat of war. His chest expands, his roar splitting the skies open. The king has claimed the battlefield, but he is not alone. From the churning fire of a distant volcano, the other Titan emerges. Its body glows with veins of molten red, cracks in its armor-like skin releasing steam and flame with every breath. It does not roar. It growls, a low thunder that ripples across the land. Where Kong brings the weight of earth and stone, this Titan brings the wrath of fire and fury. For a moment, the 2 giants simply stare at each other across the ruins. Their eyes locked, their silence louder than any scream. It is the silence before the storm. Then it begins. The ground erupts as Kong charges, his fists pounding against his chest like thunderclaps. The rival Titan responds, slamming its claws into the ground and releasing a wave of fire that burns everything in its path. The 2 forces collide with the violence of gods. Kong's massive fists crash against the fiery Titan's chest, shaking the air with a sound like mountains breaking. The creature answers with a tail swipe that hurls Kong through crumbling towers, the shockwave flattening everything for miles. Dust and fire cloud the battlefield, but neither Titan yields. Kong rises, his eyes burning with fury, and hurls boulders the size of houses at his enemy. The fiery Titan smashes them to dust with a single swing, each strike sending rivers of molten rock spraying across the ruins. Every blow is felt not just by the land, but by the people watching from miles away. Trembling in fear and awe, the clash becomes more than brute strength, it becomes survival itself. Kong uses his cunning, his speed, weaving through blasts of fire, leaping from shattered cliffs to strike with precision. His roars echo with defiance, each one louder than the last. The rival, enraged, unleashes its full wrath. The sky turns black with ash. Firestorms sweep across oceans. The earth cracks open beneath their feet as though the planet itself cannot hold the weight of their fury. The world becomes their weapon. Mountains crumble beneath their fists. Seas rise in waves taller than skyscrapers, crashing down to swallow entire coastlines. Skies glow red with storms of fire and lightning. It is no longer just a battle between two creatures, it is the rewriting of the earth itself. Still, neither Titan gives in. Kong seizes the fiery beast by its throat, slamming it into the ground with the strength of 10 hurricanes. But the Titan surges back, jaws snapping like a furnace, forcing Kong into the dirt. Every second, the war escalates, every strike more devastating than the last. And as they fight, the world watches, powerless. For humans, this is not a movie or a myth. This is real. Cities collapse as if they were sandcastles before a storm. Forests burn to ash in seconds. Oceans are carved apart by shockwaves. People cry out, not knowing if there will even be a tomorrow. At the heart of it all, two giants roar. One, the king of Skull Island, a beast of strength, scars, and survival. The other, a monster born from fire and fury, the embodiment of destruction. Each believes the world is theirs to rule. Each refuses to bow. And so the war continues. Blow after blow, roar after roar. A battle that shakes the heavens and breaks the earth. The Titans clash with no end in sight, and humanity realizes the truth. This fight is not theirs to win or lose. It belongs only to the giants. This is not just a battle. This is the Titan Showdown, and only one will walk away as king. Silence. For the first time since the Titans clashed, the world is quiet. The battlefield lies in ruins, a wasteland of ash, shattered stone, and broken steel. Skyscrapers are reduced to twisted skeletons. Forests are nothing more than blackened stumps. The oceans themselves are scarred, waves still trembling from the fury that tore through them. Humanity, scattered and trembling, emerges from hiding places, their eyes wide, their breaths shallow. They have survived the storm, but at what cost? At the center of this devastation, the air is thick with smoke. Dust clouds rise like ghosts, drifting over the bodies of fallen creatures, the remnants of beasts too small to survive the wrath of gods. And there, through the haze, a silhouette moves, massive, towering. Each step echoes like the heartbeat of the earth itself. It is Kong. His fur is matted with blood and ash, his chest rising and falling like a weary mountain. He stumbles, but he does not fall. His body carries the wounds of war, yet his spirit still burns like fire. The fiery Titan lies broken at his feet, its glowing veins fading to black, the molten light inside its chest sputtering like a dying star. Steam rises from its body as the earth cools around it. For a moment there is silence. Then Kong lifts his head, his roar splitting the sky one final time. It is not a roar of victory, not one of pride. It is a roar of warning, a reminder to the world that he is still here. He is still king, but victory has a price. Kong looks around him, and what he sees is not triumph, it is ruin. The cities he has saved are now reduced to rubble. The oceans he fought across still burn with fire. The forests he once guarded are now ash in the wind. He has won the battle, but the earth has lost something greater. The cost of survival has always been destruction, and even a king cannot escape that truth. Far above, satellites orbiting the earth capture the final images. The silhouette of Kong standing alone in the ruins, the last giant left on the battlefield. Scientists and leaders watch with trembling hands. Some whisper of hope that perhaps Kong is the balance, the protector that humanity needs. Others whisper of fear that as long as Titans walk the earth, mankind will never truly rule again. And yet, in the silence that follows, there is something else. A sound carried across the wind, faint but undeniable. A distant roar. Not Kong's? Not the fallen Titans? Something new? Something rising. Somewhere in the deep oceans, in the frozen lands, or in the fiery core of the earth, another Titan stirs. The war of Titans is not finished. It has only begun. Kong turns his gaze to the horizon. His chest heaves, his shoulders heavy with exhaustion. He knows, he feels it. The fight is not over. It will never be over. For as long as Titans walk the earth, battles will come. Rivals will rise, and wars will rage. He is not just the king of Skull Island anymore. He is the king of a world caught between God's dot as the smoke clears and the sun bleeds through the clouds. The battlefield glows red. Kong's massive silhouette stands against it like a monument carved from fury and survival. He does not move. He does not bow. He waits, because the legend of King Kong has never been about one battle. It has never been about one victory. It is about survival in a world where survival is never guaranteed. It is about carrying the weight of a crown that no other creature can bear. And so the story does not end here. It lingers, it echoes, it roars. The war of Titans is eternal. The scars of today will become the legends of tomorrow. And one day, when the earth shakes again and the skies split open, the king will rise once more. Until then, humanity lives under the shadow of giants, watching, waiting, knowing, because this was not the end. This was only the beginning.